Alright.
Twinkle, twinkle.
Another one.
Upper beats here, probably. Slammies. Yeah, let her know what's up.
Listen, he's coming for us. We're both gonna die.
What are you saying?
You'll see. He's after STARS members. There's no escape.
Hey guys, Zep here, and I really wanted to make a video, kind of a guide on Nemesis, how to play him, specific builds you can do that are really well on him, of which I found like 2 to 3 that I work pretty consistently and pretty well on him. I wanted to go over his power, when and when not to use it, when you can use your power, at what stage, because Nemesis' power has 3 stages, 1, 2, and 3, almost like Myers. You have to like build up, you have to use your power to actually get to the next stage, to stage 2, and then it takes more power use to get to stage 3, and you get your power by hitting survivors with your little short-range tentacle, or by hitting zombies with it. Much more efficient to hit survivors to get your power than zombies, but yeah. Also, when it comes to his add-ons, I'll just go over it quickly right now. The iridescents are really bad. Depleted Ink Ribbon's one of the best, as well as Marvin's Blood. In his current state, I think Marvin's Blood adds 50% to your mutation rate every time you get a hit with your T-Virus whip, with your M2, so it's kind of necessary. I see them nerfing this add-on while buffing the base kit, almost like they did with Wraith and Windstorm, how they gave him base movement speed increase, but nerfed the Windstorm add-ons to compensate for that. They'll probably end up doing that with Nemesis, because he's quite unplayable without Marvin's Blood. I wouldn't recommend playing him at all without this add-on. This makes your tier up so much faster. In tier 1 and tier 2, I believe the whip range for your M2 is 6 meters. So getting to tier 2 doesn't increase any range, but when you get to tier 3, your whip goes from 6 meters to 7 meters. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I just know that it only increases by 1 meter from tier 1 to tier 3. And it only increases the range at tier 3. That's the only benefit you get from getting to tier 3 is the increase of 1 meter, which may not seem like a lot, and at first I was complaining that it wasn't a lot, but it actually is when utilized in certain loops, especially at Shack, and I'll show how that's utilized in some of the clips to follow. As far as add-ons go though, Depleted Ink Ribbon, Marvin's Blood. You can use Serotonin Injector. I only use this when I don't have a Terror Radius perk. So I can use this in place of a Terror Radius perk, such as Monitor and Abuse. So if I was using this, I wouldn't be using Monitor, because this can make you undetectable for 15 seconds. Kind of like you wouldn't use Tinker with this either. The double, like, if you use Tinker, they'll be keen to it, and they'll like, no. This comes in clutch, like the second half of the game when they know they're used to your Terror Radius and they don't think you have this, and when you use this, and when they don't suspect it, it can be devastating. It can be just what you need to turn the game around. Trust me. I'll be showcasing that later in clips as well. But when I use this, I try not to use Monitor or Tinker. This is so far the best build I've come up with. Now, I don't use slowdowns when I play Killer at all at rank 1. You're bound to lose against really good teams as a survivor, but I don't do it because I like to challenge myself, and I like to give the other chance a fair shot at the game as well. So if you want to substitute any of these with like Paco's the Weasel, Corrupt Intervention, Hex Ruin. That's totally your call. But for me, these are the 4 that I love to use. I love using Lethal Pursuer to find out where the survivors are right away, so I don't have to waste any time. I love Barbecue for my points, and my aura reading, of course. He tells me where to go next after I hook somebody. Monitor is always great for sneaking up on people. They don't expect the smaller terror radius, and it's very nice when you can get to somebody and hit them with your M2 and infect them and gain mutation rate before they hear your terror radius, sooner, so they don't have less time to run away. And then Save the Best for Last is so good on Nemesis. You run it on Nemesis for the same reason you run it on Demogorgon. It is so easy to get hits with your M2, and you actually want to get hits with your M2 to advance your tier and your power. So when you do get hits with Save the Best for Last, it can really put someone off. That you have stacks of. It's like, oh, wait a minute, isn't he supposed to be going for his whip attacks? And you should, but only when you need to. Only when the survivors are getting to a pallet or a loop, and there's no way you could M1 them or hit them with your fist. So you need to use that ranged attack. I'll be going into that later as well. As far as add-ons, again, Depleted Ink Ribbon, Serotonin Injector, Marvin's Blood, and then the Broken Recovery Coin is also kind of good. I'd use any of these 3, Serotonin, Depleted, or Broken Recovery with Marvin's Blood in current state. If they ever increase the mutation rate from the base kit and then decrease the effectiveness of Marvin's Blood to compensate, perhaps not use this. Perhaps use like Mikhail's Eye or a admin wristband, because this makes the zombies move a little bit faster, and this considerably extends the detection range. Now the zombies, let's talk about the zombies. They're not so much for lethality. On certain indoor maps, especially the new RPD map or like Larry's, they can be good because they come around the corner, little room to maneuver around them, and they can get hits on survivors. However, you mainly want to use them for information. There's different stances the zombies take, and I'll roll a clip where it shows the different stances. There's the one stance where they're just idle walking around, they're just like trying to detect anything. There's one stance where they have detected something, they're not sure where, they move a little bit faster and a little bit more on alert. And there's a third stance where their arms are outreached like this, and they're running towards, their arms are outreached in the direction of where the survivor is for sure at. And that's where they're best utilized, when you can definitely just follow the direction of their arms and know, okay, this is a survivor over there, let me check over here behind some rocks and stuff and make sure, check the area and snuff the survivor out, sniff him out and get him out of here, and get some more stacks, save the best, or hit him with my whip to get my rotation rate up. And the fourth stance is when the zombies are blinded. When they get stunned by a flashlight, they'll kind of be like super idle, they'll lean back a little bit and kind of like looking around, looking up in the sky, and just be aloof altogether. So yeah, those are like the 4 stances of the zombies that you really need to pay attention to when you're playing as Nemesis. In this clip, the survivor made a failed skill check, and the zombie started wandering over here to check out what's going on. They always do that. And then once the zombie's in range, like so, it'll send its arms out, I believe it's 12-meter radius, and then start hauling full speed towards the survivor. However, if you get into a locker, zombie's arms will lower immediately. He'll go back in that scouting position. Gets to the locker, walks away. Must have been the wind. In this clip, the survivor is about to throw down a pallet and vault it over and over again and make a bunch of sound. As soon as he does, the zombie starts coming. Bear in mind, I also have the Ink Ribbon add-on for increasing zombie movement speed, and Mikhail's Eye for also increasing movement speed of the zombie. They both stack. Isn't really an ideal set of add-ons, considering you need Marvin's Blood in current state of Nemesis. Yeah, just look at the gain you get. So from nothing on the first hit, they're already infected. You got nothing. That first initial viral hit, so we're at 2 hits now, still at tier 1. Not even tier 2. So 1 viral hit and 2 normal hits, 3 hits, still at tier 1. Not even tier 2 yet. That's why you need Marvin's Blood. That's why these add-ons aren't, as fun as they aren't really viable. In this clip, we're doing some testing with double detection range on the zombie. It's a yellow admin wristband and a brown visitor wristband. And they don't seem to do a whole lot. There's maybe a slight difference with both of these on. See, the zombie's still oblivious to the survivor's location. Leon moves up a bit, and then the zombie turns like, hang on. I don't think I'll ever use these add-ons just because they don't really seem worth it. As you can see, the detection ratio really didn't do much here. And also, one thing to note with the zombies is the Z-axis. They do get alerted if you make noise like below them, like on the game. It's like right here. Zombie's still just patrolling around. The survivor's walking, doesn't bring the alert, but once the survivor starts running around, vaulting stuff, the zombie's like, oh, hang on a second, sun's down here. Arms out, comes down, and on the attack. So you can alert them from the Z-axis and up and down. Too deep for me. Wanted to go over like a beginning scenario, what I do, usually as Nemesis. Always check around the map to get lethal pursuer value. See where all the survivors are at, and guess, like project which gens are going to be on in a minute here. So I find one survivor, I'm like, oh, let's get our infection up. So now with Marvin's blood, I only need one more hit. If I find an uninfected survivor, that's more ideal, because you get more viral progress by hitting uninfected survivors on the initial viral infection than for hitting a survivor that's already infected. So here I got my second hit, but now we're tier 2. And Fang makes the mistake of staying here. And I get another hit on her. Right here in this chase with Dwight, you can see in the background the zombies like arms out chasing, so I know there's somebody else here. But then the zombie kind of leans back like that, so I know that she blinded the zombie, and then, you know, she must have, and there she is right there. This is showing another beginning of the game scenario, this time on Midwich. A bit harder to get use out of Lethal Pursuit on Midwich just because the levels prevent you from getting to where you want to go right away. But we do know which gen they're on. Get our first hit. I'm looking around for other survivors to infect because I'd prefer to infect other survivors before I continue on the same one. But I was like, other ones aren't really like easily to be found, so I'll just continue on the Jill. You can flick your power quite a bit, almost like with Pyramid Head and Blight, Oni. And it's so good to be able to get over pallets like that.
Nice pallet.
Now there's something you could do with Nemesis called the double hit. You either have to hit with your tentacle first into a zombie, or a zombie into a tentacle here. I hit with the tentacle and the zombie's right there to follow up. When a survivor gets hit, they still have collision with the zombie.
The double.
So it's quite nice. And this next one I do the same thing, but this time I believe the zombie hits first.
Zombie?
And I manage to whip her before she gets too much distance from the speed burst. It's quite nice. It's possible. It feels so good
Another
to do.
double hit.
And it's an interesting thing you can do. In this next clip, I'm going to show how Nemesis green add-on Serotonin Injector is quite nice for sneaking up on survivors when they don't know you already have it. So here I whip the zombie. You can punch him too, especially with Save the Best for Last to save stacks. Come around here, no terrorists for 15 seconds. And the Meg is none the wiser, so she just runs right into me. Now, with Nemesis, you can't really aim up with it. Like, look at this clip. The survivor's like right there. You can't aim up or down really that much.
You can't even.
So I can't even hit her right there. But in this next clip, you can hit a little bit up enough to get hits like that off Horn Harvester. It's how to use your power at these standard jungle gym loops where there's one pallet. I always take out my tentacle on the long side, never the short side, because you know you have enough time on the long side. And you always take out the tentacle off screen where they can't see it, so they don't know you're charging it like that. Boom. So they don't really have time to react, and you know you have the range to hit them. So that's 2 hits already on Jake, and he still stays at this loop. Doesn't go for the pallet, but if he did, he'd get down. Right here, he's going to get down too. Even if he had Dead Heart, I believe he'd still get down. I wanted to show how deceptive Save the Best for Last can be. So this next clip, I hook one person and like 2 gens finish right after. So like, alright, well I have 7 stacks, so I'm just going to chill around the hook and see what happens. And because I make so many mistakes here, and you'll see I miss a tentacle whip and I whiff like a shot or like an M1 or 2, but you can see like even when like all hope is lost and you get gen rushed and you know the map goes super quickly in favor of the survivors, good things can still happen by just sticking around the hook and having lots of stacks to save the best for last. I know that when I hooked the Meg, everybody else was on the opposite side of the map, and they're already on a gate, and by the time I went over there, the gate would be open, so I just decided to stick around and see how they would do against, you know, full stacks of Save the Best for Last against Nemesis, and here you can see how crazy it can really be.
Oh my god, I missed.
Excuse me. That hurt? That miss. Yeah, okay. I don't know why I swung it down. Easy now. Oh, that was a mistake. Both on this side. What are you doing, Jake? That hard, nice. This is what you get for not opening the door. This is what you get for not opening the door. Didn't need to 99 it. You could have just left. This last game showcases why I use Save the Best for Last and why I use the build that I use. Features the finalized build. Some of the clips didn't have the actual build I use on Nemesis, but this is my build that I use with no slowdowns at rank 1, and I seem to do very well with it. And this lobby was full of TTVers, and I think one guy had like a YouTube tag, so they were going for the SIG clips. So yeah, enjoy this game, and I thought this was really good and really well played by me. Oh yeah, we're getting some points today. Oh man, alcohol needs to settle. Oops. Rex, are you in Central Time too? Have you been at work this whole time? Okay, okay. Yeah, you lurk until I bring out the alcohol bottle, and you're like, what's that smell? Tomfoolery? This dude's fucking swagging. Survivor's trying to dodge here, like I'm going to take out my tentacle, but I just settle for the M1, which is good when I have saved the best for last. A lot of survivors will juke around, try to avoid your tentacle being this M1 for value. Coming around the corner, I see the pallet. I really want to get an M1 to get save the best for last stacks, but I know she's going to have the pallet anyway, so I just settle for the tentacle. It's a gamble if she'll throw it down or not. So I just settle for the gamble here and end up getting my infection rate, which is nice because I need tier 2 anyways to be able to smash pallets faster with my power. Yeah, smart to drop down. Pallet to your left would be your saving grace. I need an M1 here. I need to wait for that hard though. Popped in here looking when you started, but now I'm off work. Ah, okay, okay. I'm out of work now. Hi, Bill. I'm just a Bill. Drop down. I'm glad we take that. Here I'm just actively trying to use my whip on Bill, because he's the obsession. I don't want to lose stacks to say the best. I want to preserve them as much as I can. So much like the demo would do, he would shred the obsession. With Nemesis, you're going to want to tentacle whip the obsession as well. What are they doing? But it's Nemesis one of the squares that's good late game, but early game is like Marvin. Much like Myers. We reset pretty successfully. What's going on, Minnie Mo? How you doing, man? Nah, you gotta play with save the best for last. That's the way to go. Yay. You fucking hell. Simon's gonna help me out here. That hard. That's GG now. And hurting into the wall is the way to go? Yeah, it is. You can just run straight for this though. Can I hit over this? She's not gonna let me test it. She has dead right though. Nice dodge. I want to see if I can get some crazy shit like that. Can't back up. What am I doing? Think so? Nia walking into this room against a Nemesis was like a dream come true. Almost like walking into this room as a Death Singer. This room is usually to be feared as most unwanted killers, but with this killer, I love this room. And with that, the match was pretty much over. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I got. I look a little rough just waking up, recording this little outro video. If you guys dig the video, give me a like, and yeah, let me know what kind of videos you want me to make next. I wanted to do one of these for Trickster, but Trickster as a killer sucked so much ass, it wasn't even worth the make, but for Nemesis I had to. I play so much Resident Evil, and I love Resident Evil, and as soon as I figured out that this was the upcoming DLC, I was so hyped, and I wanted to make a Nemesis video, make a guide, and you know, be the best Nemesis I could be. I'm still learning. It's different on every map, and learning what you can and cannot throw your tentacle over, what has a hitbox and what doesn't, but it takes time to learn, and I look forward to learning much more with him. So yeah, with that, I'll see you guys later, and thanks for watching and staying around this long to get to the outro video. So yeah, peace out guys, and have a good one.